Okay, so at this point, I've done all my language work, my questions, my answers, my cut and paste paragraphs, and then a quick intro, a quick intro, 4 body paragraphs. Now what is left? A conclusion. I think from my experience as a teacher, the conclusion is the hardest paragraph to teach. What is its job? I think when we're little, we write conclusions that basically simply sum up what we're saying. I suggest to students that's fine to do in the very beginning of a conclusion, but I think the real question we should answer is, if my paper is true, so what? And there's lots of different ways to approach that. So let's see what I come up with. Again, just like the earlier intro, this is a quick conclusion. So we're just writing something down. We can go back and revise it later. Considering this poem again, one realizes that the opening 16 syllables of the poem, while initially seen as positive, are actually themselves deceitful. And again, I only realized this after doing all this work. Admitting that one's love is made of truth seems as close to a Valentine's Day card as Shakespeare would ever get. However, the opening line is, when my love swears that she's made of truth. Under what circumstances would someone in any relationship have to swear that she's being honest? Don't ask rhetorical questions. Make sure if you ask questions, you actually propose answers to them. Duress, suspicion, and paranoia provide the emotional backdrop of this entire relationship and poem. This woman has to defend her romantic loyalty, and even so doing is held under suspicion, hence the sonnet, right? Curiously, the opening positive syllables actually foreshadow the darker tone of the rest of the poem. Words take on multiple meanings. Again, that's a key thought. And every romantic thought lives on a kind of verbal quicksand, where words cannot hold onto one solid meaning. We're not sure whether the concluding moment of surrender suggests the relationship's doom or an honest, mature acknowledgement that a certain degree of deceit is needed to live in a long, mature romance. That's kind of the key question here. Think of every Shakespeare play you know about. That's a key question. We do know that we leave the poem with no small amount of suspicion as to the future of these lovers who need to constantly defend themselves to each other, and to be honest, whether the woman feels as defensive as the male speaker thinks she needs to be. That's my quick conclusion. I might develop it later. I want to mention that there's little mistakes, like hold on to a one solid meaning. This isn't a final draft. There was a mistake on the previous slide too. I'm not proofreading yet, and I think that's a key thing when you're writing and you're trying to be efficient. Proofreading should happen when you're ready to print. That's the only time you should be proofreading. If you proofread along the way, you're going to waste a lot of time proofreading sentences you're going to later revise anyway. So I left that there on purpose. Pay attention to that. But anyway, that's my quick conclusion.